So we decided to call ourselves the Luke Alliance because Luke in the book of Acts is the one who is telling the story of Paul's persecution. So in Acts, you have Luke, who is the storyteller. You have Paul, who is being persecuted. We find ourselves in the role of Luke, the one who is telling the story. And then there's Paul, who is in the role of the Chinese church, and he is being persecuted. Without Luke doing the storytelling, without him being the one who is speaking up on behalf of Paul, we would actually never know about all of Paul's journeys, how he goes before all of these kings and emperors, and how really he shares the gospel throughout that process in the book of Acts. And so that's the Luke part. The alliance part is really this idea that we want to build an alliance of people within the world who are concerned about the persecuted church in China and elsewhere. But really there are three stakeholders in the way that we do this and the way that we build the alliance. First of all, you have the Chinese persecuted church, and we listen to pastors in China and what they're going through, and we try to understand their situation so that we can better represent them to folks around the world. Then we have the U.S. church. That's the second group, the U.S. church and the global church. We want to raise awareness of what's going on with our Chinese brothers and sisters, not just in the sense that they're being repressed for their faith, but also what can we learn from them as they're learning so much right now as they go through these fires of suffering. And then finally, the third entity with the Chinese church and the U.S. church and global church is we have government leaders that we want to engage with in the U.S. and around the world to tell them what's going on so that they can use their power, they can use their position to represent these folks well, being a voice for the voiceless, so that perhaps relief might come to those who are suffering right now in China and elsewhere.